Great. Thank you as well.
Pleasure.
Then I am happy to introduce our penultimate, second last speaker today. Often referenced by other speakers throughout the course of today's now over 2.5 hour event. So thanks everyone again who's staying with us. I'm introducing Alexei Shadrin. So he is managing partner of Evercity, which bridges climate finance with blockchain, AI, IoT, drones, Industry 4.0 technology. It's everything. He leads the coalition's activities regarding digital finance, which is a bit of a shorthand way for saying it, and he can elaborate, of course. Super prolific, active member of the Climate Change Coalition in terms of involvement in events, publications, team building. In fact, I want to say thanks again to you, Alexei, and your team for helping support this event. I think it's really been a huge help in making it a big success. So thanks for joining us and your patience, and I hand you now the controls.
Hi, everyone, and thanks, Tom, for this warm introduction. And it's been already 3 years since we met with many of you in Bonn, and now look at us and look at the world, how it has changed, and how digital technologies have paved the way to the hearts and to the minds of various stakeholders and decision makers. And let me congratulate you all on the great work that we have completed throughout these 3 years. I think this was really wonderful. And Tom, Miroslav, Masamba, and many of you who joined the coalition and who are leading the way for the digital technologies to address climate and SDG issues. Hooray! Let me show you short slides, short deck with slides. Yeah, so I'm currently leading the Sustainable Finance Working Group at the Climate Change Coalition. And let me just share what we did this year within the group. So I think one of the good achievements that we made is the Digital SDG Finance Bulletin that we issued in June. And that was a great attempt to unite all the knowledge and information about digital technologies and how they can foster SDG financing. It was supported by INATBA, Refinitiv, and also the New Lean and some other members who provided the Chinese translation. And this is a great start. We're working right now on the second issue, which will be dedicated to the green digital recovery. We all know that the European recovery package is enshrined with digital tools to foster green transition. And we are really interested how this will be done. So you will find this all in the new issue that will hopefully issue by the beginning of January. And also I invite you all to submit your use cases, whatever you want to showcase within this publication. You're strongly encouraged to send us this information so we can include it into the bulletin and circulate it. I think Climate Change Coalition really needs, the publications to share with the whole world. So the other event that was quite successful and was held during the New York Climate Week, that was this blockchain technology and digital finance for climate action empowerment event, co-hosted with IAI Glocha, also INATBA and Cointelegraph, which became our media partner and helped us to provide a live stream. And this live stream was really watched by many, many people, thousands of Cointelegraph viewers and readers. And I think that that it really contributed to the rise of popularity and outreach of the Climate Change Coalition. So absolutely, we need more of these events and maybe more concentrated workshops related to what we are doing, showcasing what we're doing, because we've also received a lot of feedbacks from participants and answering the question, what are you most interested in? And there are still many people and stakeholders who really want to learn more about blockchain basics and how things work in blockchain. So I really think that the workshop format is something we need to do next year. And our final highlight for this year, we've been working since the beginning of the year, maybe even since last COP, when we met with Masamba, the co-chair of the Climate Change Coalition, and he raised a lot of concerns on the impact washing problem on the green bond market, and not only. So he told us that there are some problems, and we knew that already because I've been running the Russian Carbon Fund and Impact Fund since 2011, so I'm pretty familiar with all the problems, such as inaccurate impact measurement of green bonds, transparency issues, high costs of issuing a green bond because you need a lot of counterparts, intermediaries to be involved, and of course, lack of new tools that can really power the impact finance market and make it more accessible, democratize the market. So we came up with an idea to perform research work, POC, based on a feasibility study on SDG linked bond design. So how we can improve SDG linked bonds with blockchain, with all the monitoring tools that Tom mentioned previously. So we looked at many other issuances, including NL issuance for $2 billion US. Then we tried to get this logic from the market, from the financial side of that, from the impact monitoring and verification side of that, put it into the logic of smart contracts and code and then blockchain. So we did an R&D. And we tried to design approaches to an open source blockchain protocol to enable transparent issuance of SDG-linked bonds and programmable issuance of SDG-linked bonds. And the next step was piloting the solution with market players. We had a big solar power company with overall 1 gigawatt of installed capacity joining our pilot. So we used their data on impact and their financial data from the real power plant that has been in operation since several years. And we tested, so we did the customer development, we tested our assumptions. And of course, this could not be done with support could not have been done without support of the Climate Change Coalition and Web3 Foundation grants program, which supported us financially and technically, providing us with a solution with a blockchain solution that even that time had the feature of low carbon footprint consensus, verification of transactions. So it's really low carbon footprint, and we're not creating another problem here, and providing interoperability, which is really needed in climate finance, because we need to make sure there is no double accounting. We need to make sure that the impact has not been accounted for by various stakeholders and reported to their investors. So this technology really helps us to do that. And so we did the protocol, and it's already there on GitHub. You're invited to check it and provide some reviews, some amendments. I'm really looking forward to discussing that in more detail in January or February during some kind of a workshop or dedicated group meeting. And we're also, we joined the Luxembourg Blockchain Lab right now, and with the Ministry of Finance of Luxembourg, we want to pilot the protocol next year. And also we received approval from the ASEAN Secretariat to pilot this solution in Southeast Asia. And it's pretty for sure that we will do also this piloting in one of the ASEAN countries, maybe in Malaysia. So also whoever is interested in piloting it in Europe or in Asia, you are invited, and let's collaborate on that together. And also I want to share you a really short video of how this works using Evercity platform. So I hope you, yeah, so let me just for a couple of secs just share my other screen, and you will see that the code is also deployed within the platform, and potentially it could be deployed into your solution. We can help you with that. So here we see the main page, the listing page, the marketplace. We can search for projects. Here we're looking at bonds. Of course, these are all examples because it's a pretty new stuff, and also other assets that will be added further stages. There is a filter on SDGs and also the table, which is more familiar for the bond market. You can use EU taxonomy to look through and select the projects, the bonds that are applicable, and join the book. So then there is the workflow process, and it is divided into various tabs. Yeah, just let me show. Yeah, so there are the tabs, and we've divided the process of bond structuring into 5 parts, which is some general info about the company and bond, legal documents, finance documents, impact stuff and documents, and the issuance part finally. And for each part, we can have a separate auditor, separate verifier that checks the dedicated docs and doesn't see all the other sensitive information, for example. So in the impact tab, you add your impact baseline. How do you see your projects performing? Like a solar power plant, you have a prognosis forecast, how it will perform, the output. And then goes the very important part where all the essential bond details are being put, and interest rate details and floating rate details as well. And it's a quite sophisticated system. I'm ready to show it within some other events on a workshop, how this all works. And then using blockchain, all the transactions are being recorded there. We also need a custodian to make sure the finance is making its way and the book is being fulfilled by the applications of investors, and then the finance is being executed. There is also the auditor that checks the tabs and uses his crypto signature. And once the booking is done, the bond is issued by the arranger of the issuance, because we expect the platform to be used not only by the issuers themselves, but also by arrangers. And you can see the bonds issued there. You can see its performance or how much of it has been booked so far, and many other things that I will be happy to show you next time when the solution will be a little bit more ready for the market. And as my final words, I would just emphasize that Climate Change Coalition is the best platform for collaboration, for discussions, for capacity building. And together, we are really making this change. I think we can be proud all together how we have changed the landscape of digital agenda in EU, in US, other continents, all members, together. And I'm very excited. I'm very proud to work along with you. And I think next year will be the groundbreaking year. We've been preparing this year. We've been hiding in our flats and so on. Next year we will go to the street. We will go to COP, and there we will succeed because we're such a great group, and we're doing a lot of great stuff together. And our strength is our unity.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Alexei, for the presentation overall. I was not expecting that demo, but boy, was that ever great that you did it. And then, of course, you made it into a teaser, so I can't wait to see the full event that you're planning, hopefully in the not too distant future, because that looked super amazing. So definitely let me know, because I want to participate and see that again. That was wonderful. Well,
Thanks.
I have to say again, thanks to you, and thanks to everyone. We're going to be entering our last presentation for today's event. It's been now almost 3 hours, and I'm in this zone of partly blown away by the amount of information, but wanting more at the same time. I don't know much more my mind's going to take it, but I am nonetheless happy to introduce